So these slides and this video are just talk through, set out our case and our mission to digitize card decks. And we're really targeting in this video to talk to creators, to publishers, even to card deck fans, so people understand what we're doing and why.
So I'm sharing this content for three reasons. Firstly, our story keeps evolving. It's only natural that as we make progress and we advance and evolve the product and we bring on more decks and more creators, that our story will change. So this is just a chance to recap that. We also learn new objections from creators, and so we devise new solutions, and screenshot blocking is a perfect example of that. So it's always valuable for us to pull this story together and allow us to replay that to the creative community. Thirdly, we know that every creator, artist, publisher processes information uniquely. Everyone walks away from any presentation with different insights, different takeaways. So it's valuable to recap that. And finally, just as a bonus, we know from a fact it just pays to repeat things, because when you're evolving and you're creating something new and different, repetition is your best friend. We need your help. It's very simple. Be unafraid wherever you are in life to ask for help. And we wouldn't have got where we are with Deckible without a phenomenal amount of help. But it also doesn't do you any harm to sit down and reflect and say, you know what, we could ask for help again. And I think we're at that point where it just makes sense. If you are a creator and you're on Deckible, look and think amongst your friend network. Who else has a deck? Who has a book that should be a deck? Who has a course that should be a deck? Who has a workbook that should be a deck? We would really truly value and appreciate you introducing and connecting those people to us, and nudging and cajoling them and supporting their move to Deckible with their content, because the more we have on Deckible, the more momentum, the more mass, everything just begins to work more smoothly. And if you're a deck lover, if there's a deck you want on Deckible, we would absolutely adore it if you reached out to the creator of that deck and said, hey, I wish your deck was on Deckible, because then I'd use it every day in my pocket. Nudging and cajoling from every angle helps, and that's really special. Let's look at my story. I mean, I never wanted to go to digital music, right? I love my CDs. I didn't want the idea of buying again monthly like Groundhog Day. I'd already done the transition from vinyl to tape and then to CD, right? So I didn't want any of this. It took a long time to get to being an adopter of Spotify and iTunes, But with time, resistance fades. Many reasons. You look around you see what your friends are doing. You're traveling, it would be easier. Oh, more variety would be fun. Find me some new bands, that would be cool. Oh, playlist, that's kind of cute. Oh, randomness. Oh, okay. And eventually, it doesn't matter which one of these reasons, but you just get ground down by it, right? And the same thing applies to books. I have an embarrassingly large collection of 700 books on Audible. I read a lot, and I love the service, and I love the fact, and I listen to many books many times over. But we all take time to get to that point, right? We all have different preferences. Oh, some people I love paper. Well, for me, it's not about paper, it's about convenience. I never sit down to read. If I'm going to read, I'm creating something. I'm writing code, I'm creating a deck, I'm writing emails. If I'm reading, it's when I'm running. If it's when I'm hiking, it's when I'm traveling, right? So that's just how I choose to spend my time. My personal preference is my bias, right? All good to do that, but that's how and why I fell in love with Audible. Your own personal perspective is wonderful, and you're perfectly entitled to that, but your customer won't have that same perspective, right? So in reality, our experience is resistance is not your friend. I've talked about my story with music, with books. I have friends with thousands and thousands of Kindles. I don't think about going anywhere else. I don't have a single VHS video. I don't have a player. I don't have a DVD player anymore. All my movies are digital, right? So I'm Netflix. I'm on Prime at the moment and Apple. I kind of migrate between, but it's there. I don't think about going back to a physical movie at any point, right? And we consume our music and our podcast digitally. So digital card decks are no different. The modern consumer expects it. It might not be your expectation because you've been entrenched in the card deck industry as a paper entity, and that's perfectly wonderful and valid, but that is not the perspective of the modern consumer who's born digital, right? And I just, consider your experience with Uber, Netflix, Amazon, Etsy, etc. We all dived into some of them really fast, and other ones were like, what the hell, stay in someone's house? Are you crazy? We're all different, and we'll all adopt in time different things that become socially normal. So we're all a later adopter of some things and early adopters of others. So just don't apply your lens. Just imagine your customer and their perspective. And, this is a new customer for digital. That's what's important. We think, as I've mentioned before, 10x the market for digital decks. Because we can have more decks, there's more choice, more. It's easier for people to have in their pocket.
So we are definitely co-creating this market together. We have an army of creators on board already. There are many more with decks in the works. And we'd love you to join us. And if you have opinions, the best way to express those opinions is to be on the bus and have a voice and help us drive this thing in the right direction. We are listening to our creators. We're trying to create a bigger marketplace. Why is that? Well, we think decks are incredibly hard to get hold of. Sometimes they're incredibly hard to understand. Often they're out of stock. They can be expensive, especially if you add in shipping. And digitally, we can just make that simple for people. They can get them anywhere. Oh, I can now find where I can get the digital one if I can find where I got the print one because I bought the digital one. So we have an abundance mindset. We're creating more for everybody. The people who use decks know how wonderful decks are and their special qualities, and that, sadly, is in the minority. So that's our mission, is to bring decks to more people. That will involve bringing new decks, more creators, doing a whole load of things, and we'd love you to be part of it. Come when you're ready. We're all different in what we see and need and what's the right time for us to adopt something. But we genuinely are here to create a bigger market and to support artists.
That's our thinking. And our mission, we're here to support artists. Deckible is wonderful, but Deckible is the experience of the card decks plus the platform, right? Deckible is nothing without the creators. And if you're not happy, we're not happy. We're here to support you. And we've made some very strong decisions that commit to you, the artist, right? We pay out 42.5% after App Store commissions. That's after 50/50 in the Apple charges. Compare that to 40% from Audible. We offer coaching and tools to help people promote their deck. We link to your print deck, so we're totally supporting print. We don't charge affiliate fee on linking to your deck. We are helping artists get found. We offer widgets to embed your deck on your website. There's no monthly fees. We support collaboration. We could not have a stronger, clearer intention to support the artist community, right? And you're welcome to join us at any point. I fully understand artists have been mistreated in the past. That's unfortunate, but that's them, and don't judge us differently. Or judge us, just judge us, but don't bucket us into prior platforms, prior agents you've worked with, prior creative galleries you've worked, whatever it is. Just take a fresh look at Deckible, because we honestly are here to support you. We are nothing without the creators. We've got to 500 decks. Enough people are saying yes. We just have so much rocket fuel on the ship to keep propelling us. We have so many things that are happening. It's exciting, but obviously your deck's important to us. Come join us, right? Come be part of it. Don't be missing out. Missing out is, not good in the long run. Like mostly, as I said before, it's very likely that your resistance is hurting. Our view is there's 100,000 decks globally, unique card decks. We know of 50 plus people selling courses on how to create card decks. There's our estimate of 5,000 new decks a year each, and that's probably going to accelerate. So many decks are out of stock. We just see no excuse for this. it's not an elitist thing to have your deck out of stock. You might think it's got some kudos to it, but look at it through your customer's eyes. It's an incredible piece of friction. And there is never out of stock with anything digital. Also, finance is limiting your creativity. If you could make 10 decks instead of one because you don't have to pay for the print run, you would create more stuff. And if you create more stuff, you'll create better work. And we know that, right? If you make 10 paintings or 10 albums, you are going to create better work than if you just do one. So Deckible enables that. And, question is, will people find your deck? There are so many decks out there today. It's sad but true, but almost any deck will do. So will they find yours? And findability becomes really important, and that's something Deckible adds a lot of value to.
Digital card decks on your phone are a medium that offers more. Decks are already high utility. You can use them in so many ways. They're fun and tactile, and we haven't lost any of that taking it digital. But we also add in media. We can actually have audio and video with every card. We're not limited to 2 sides to a card. We can integrate your guidebook. And we're 100% focused on participation. People can journal, comment, choose, select. People expect that. We are bored of consuming. We want to participate. And that's exactly what Deckible supports. And in this diagram, the 7 segments, we basically pull together all the different tranches of card decks. And we help people see, oh my gosh, yes, this is a category. Oh my God, there's a deck for everything, right? There is a lot of content out there. And the more content there is, the more proof and the more validation that digital card decks are a thing. And this makes card decks understandable and simpler for more people to adopt. And that's really the case. It's a medium that is phone-sized. It looks like a phone, it acts like a phone, and it's the app your phone has been waiting for. We believe today that people want less apps that do more. It's just simpler for the human brain to comprehend to go to one app to do all these different tasks. So can we pull this together into one app? We absolutely believe we can. We know we can deal with workbooks and courses and card decks, and we do tarot spreads and oracle. We do coaching, we do decision making, card sorts, all there in one app. Having the apps, having all these decks behave the same way is comforting. We use apps so rarely that some apps so rarely that we forget, and so Deckible makes it easier to keep coming back, do your daily practice, and use different decks day by day, but be using the same app. It's just simpler. Will you get lost in the noise? Is one question we get asked, and the answer is obviously completely the opposite. We'll help you get found because we're creating a destination for people who want decks. People will go to Deckible to find out what decks they want. People ask about a desktop version. That's in the works. So we already work on tablets and smartphones, iOS and Android, and we're going to be adding collaboration, multi-user collaboration in time as well. So all of this in one. Deckible is a very serious product. We have an amazing engineering team behind it. It's incredibly well architected. We've visioned all of this in from the beginning, so it makes sense to us. And that's one of the reasons for putting out this slide deck, is to really explain this is something we planned and conceived from the beginning. So, we do ask for exclusivity on Deckible, and we ask for exclusivity of a platform like Deckible. So there is not such a thing right now. We expect there will be, so we're not going to make it easy for someone to come along and suck up all the content. This cost us thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of effort to recruit the thousands of creators we have on Deckible, the 500 decks and all the stuff that's in the work and everything that's happening. So, but it's not about, the reason for this is to make it easy for the customer to go to one place to get all their decks, right? That's what Deckible's about. And 500 decks is a very, very serious entity. It's very high quality decks on there. There's a lot of decks. There's going to be a lot more. So it's a serious offering, and that's why we value exclusivity, to support you to help customers go and find their decks in one place. And I say, how are we going to create a bigger market? Well, we're going to make it more accessible. Your deck would be available instantly on phones around the world. There's no shipping involved, right? So it's we're going to offer a consistent experience across all these decks. It's instant download. We are never out of stock.
Out of stock is a fallacy in the digital world, right? We don't need to be out of stock ever, right? It's easier to trial your deck. In the next release of Deckible, you'll be able to trial any deck for 3 days for free. So we're removing barriers to adoption. We'll make it easier to step in and learn and explore and become a deck fan, right? And it's just the same reasons why Amazon works. They have 1 million books on Amazon, and that was their mission when they launched, because the biggest bookstore in the world could only handle 100,000 books. And that choice, mass, momentum, simplicity, accessibility is what drove it, right? And decks, in our opinion, is just going to be exactly the same thing. So, Bill Gates had a vision to put a computer in every home, and we view that we can put a deck in every pocket, and that's a lot more decks than there are out there right now. So more people are finding decks. Esther Perel, Mark Grove, Stephen Bartlett, all have got 1 million followers. They've all printed their digital deck, and they've all sold out multiple times. So more people are going to be coming to the card deck industry because they've seen the potential as a medium. Publishers have seen the potential as a medium, and more books are moving into this format. So we're in conversations with 10 plus influencers with 1 million followers, many more to follow. Decks are just ubiquitous, high utility, and honestly, your resistance is hurting you, but that's your issue to process over time, and we're more than happy to talk through whatever your resistance is, whatever your feelings are. We're here to help you and support you, because that's why we exist. So join when you're ready. From a year ago, trying to talk to publishers was really challenging. We've had some great conversations, active conversations with publishers that have really got an open eyes to what's possible with Deckible, and that they see it as a medium, right? So it's such a different conversation than a year ago. There's no rush. This is definitely a marathon, not a sprint, but there is so much rocket fuel. Enough people say yes, we just keep going from strength to strength. So yeah, join when you're ready. We're more than happy to ask and answer and deal with every single question and concern you may have. We have answers to most of them, and if you raise something new and unique, then we'll sit down and work out a solution, right? I mean, that's what we're here for. So you are important to us, so take the time, have a call. Let's work this through. Yeah, cheers and good luck. We look forward to seeing you soon on Deckible.